Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. Now it's real time. Sponsored by Cokewell Casino Resort.
Welcome back, everyone. The man in person. We've got Ted Lew, the attorney at law, here in studio, and a lot of you might go, why would you have an attorney part of Outdoor GPS? We have for 17 years. Your good friend Rob Dalton was the fishing attorney, one of our original sponsors back in 2008. And Ted has taken that over with Rob's kind of retired a little bit, but he's still active out there. How's he doing?
He's still around. He's keeping busy, but he's just less time in, desk jockey job and outdoors doing more things.
Okay, because they're both diehard fishermen. You can see with these photos, Ted was actually just out yesterday chasing tuna around. How was the tuna fishing for you guys? You were out of Garibaldi, but how'd it go for you?
Out of Garibaldi, we only fished about 5 hours, and we plugged the boat as best we can. And in defense, we took ice out of the cooler just so we can get those pictures. But we had lots of ice, and basically we had to stop with fish biting and thought we have enough fish on board and all the ice that we can cover them, and it's time to go home.
Yeah, because when you get so many of those things, I mean, you got to remember, you got to clean those, you got to take care of them, and keep them on ice all the way back in.
We were getting doubles and triples, a quad one time, and just, don't ever leave fish when they're biting. But we hit a point where we're going to have them laying all over the deck pretty soon.
I got you. You want to give up the numbers? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
The ocean.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
You know how much trouble I'd be getting in, even if you did say something. Okay, so here's the question, and I know that you already know this. When your commercial runs forever, I mean, if it's here or previously at our previous location, everyone's like, well, what does Ted do? What is it that he can do for us? And I know I've kind of mentioned that quickly there, but when somebody's watching, they're like, well, what can you do to help me? What is it that you offer for our viewers?
I had lots of cases involving car accidents that aren't people's faults. I get people calling me all the time, basically ask me, what am I supposed to be doing? Call my own insurance company, talk to the other insurance company, things that you should or shouldn't do, basically. And unfortunately, you and I go outdoors, have a great day, and hope everything goes great. Every so often, it doesn't happen that way. And in reality, every client of mine calls and says, I had a bad day or had a bunch of bad days. Now, what do I do? Where do I go from here?
And then you're able to walk them through that process. And if it ever gets like really, really bad, is this like go into a courtroom kind of situation if that pops up as well? Or, I mean, how does that actually work?
Yeah, it can. But, really trial is not one of the things that you immediately run to because there's lots of things involved before you get to that point.
Sure, okay. But, I mean, obviously bad days happen, and they need to have somebody that they can contact that can answer the questions for them. Like he's mentioning, I'm calling you. I haven't got a clue, and I don't want to get taken advantage of from insurance companies because I know that happens as well.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Basically, is just watching out for yourself, but, attorneys like myself offer answers, basically. Some sort of information, try and tell people what your situation is, get you through the process, and kind of literally, I jump in the car with you, basically, once you've had a bad day, and run through a long list of, problems, but also basically go along for the ride until you get to the end, and hopefully get a good resolution and kind of get back to normal life, if you will.
Now, I know that you have, of course, with auto accidents and this and that, trucks, cars, whatever it might be, but personal injury stuff that you do in Oregon, not necessarily in Washington.
Or, actually, Oregon and Washington, I do get people calling me Clark County. Vancouver, they call me up and say, hey, I was in Vancouver, got into something happened, someone rear-ended me. Happy to answer questions there as well.
Gotcha. I would assume, and I know that you've had the chance to talk with a lot of our viewers over the years, what's kind of one of the #1 things that they call you for? Is it strictly automobile issues, or is it everything?
A little bit of both, but automobile, the main thing I'm going to try to share with people is take a look at something called your policy. That's the thing that the paperwork that your company sends to you. You buy insurance from your dealer, whoever that is. Check something out called UM or UIM. Now, what that stands for is underinsured motorist or uninsured motorist.
Okay.
If you get hit by someone that's got no insurance or, let's say, has a really small policy, and unfortunately you get a really bad accident, they crash in your car or truck, you get hurt really badly, can't go to work, maybe you're off of work for 6 months or a year, or have some poor health issues because of bones being broken, all sorts of problems. If their policy is so small, you're only going to get a little bit of money for the compensation for all the injuries that you go through.
Sure.
And so if your own policy is pretty small as well, you're going to be stuck with whatever your policy has and their insurance policy as well. So in other words, for cost of probably a good dinner, bump your policy up higher, you're covering yourself.
Gotcha.
That's the main thing.
So you're just like a security blanket for yourself or something.
It is. You know, obviously you hope you never use it.
Sure.
You have boat insurance, car insurance, fire insurance in your house, everything. But if something happens and you have a bigger or better policy, that's just like your umbrella. It gives you more coverage. And so if you've got a much bigger policy and you really do get hurt really badly, you can actually tap into your own policy to help cover all the things that you've gone through.
Will your insurance companies, are they flexible with that? Do they let you know, or do they make you figure it out on your own?
Basically, you know, you can talk to your own insurance agent and say, look, I want a higher policy on this amount. And it doesn't cost that much. So that's the main thing. Obviously, you know, we have an idea of buying things and getting it for less, but that's where you really don't want to cheat yourself and basically buy the cheapest policy I can find.
And that's basically what a lot of people do. They just try to get that cheapest policy
Yeah,
that
it
they
is.
can. And they're, you know, maybe not thinking about what a bad day might be.
It's just like fishing. You hope you can get by, but if you don't get by and you have a bad problem, then you realize, uh-oh, I've got a bad thing, bad day, bad results.
Okay.
So, you know, it's really just trying to take care of yourself, protect yourself from something bad happening, and cover yourself and hope you never have to use it in all reality. But
Sure.
when it does happen, that's when people call me.
So in the end, what you're saying is you don't ever want to meet Ted Lew, but if you do need somebody, give you a call.
That is so true.
Okay, fair enough.
Most people, you know, who call me really don't want to be calling me in the truest sense, but
Yeah.
they realize I've had some bad things happen. I got to call and get something taken care of.
Well, we appreciate it. I can tell you right now that over the years, with Rob and yourself, we've had many of our viewers that have worked with you guys and have been extremely happy with bad days. Although sometimes something good can come out of it. Hopefully, it happens often.
Trying to find the lemonade out of a bunch of lemons.
Ah, sheesh, I can only imagine, man. Now, like we started out when we were talking with Ted, we showed you some photos that he loves to chase tuna, but that's not it. I mean, you and Rob are fishing nuts. I mean, you're out with Eric Lindy all the time. You're out in the saltwater with friends and other guides, charters. You're heading up to Canada? Is that what I heard you say earlier?
Going to take a vacation, leave my office for a little while, go up to Canada, you know, detach where my cell phone doesn't work,
Right.
and go fish off the saltwater.
Okay.
And, you know, you can't find me, my email doesn't work, my phone goes crazy up there looking for a signal, and there's no signal.
Right, I got you. So
Yep.
It's got to be nice to get a little bit of a break away.
A little bit, time out. Yep.
All right, so your vacation time is to go fishing.
Exactly, always has been.
All right. Well,
Always has been.
That's one of the reasons why we love having you part of Outdoor GPS, man. Your support, number one, but the ability to help our viewers when they have that bad day. But you're one of us. You're one of the folks that wants to be out there chasing some fish around.
Lived in Oregon all my life and grew up fishing as a kid, doing the little pull with the, you know, rod and reel, catch trout, panfish,
Yeah.
whatever, and it's gone now up to chasing tuna yesterday for an 18-hour day.
Right. So attorneys can be human.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. That was a little poke. Not much of a poke, just a little one. But first things first, man, thanks for coming in on a Sunday after you spent hours on the saltwater chasing tuna. I know I'd be wiped out, and you all know what I'm talking about, especially if you spent any time chasing tuna. But again, thanks again, man. We appreciate
Absolutely. Got to go and go clean tuna now.
it. Yeah, you do. He's got a lot of them. He's got to clean 20, something like that.
Low 20s. We stopped when we
Dude.
filled the coolers.
It's a never-ending process if you chase tuna. All right, we'll be back in just a minute, wrap things up, and give you your Pike Middle reward numbers for this past week.